We have a special guest joining us in today's episode, Miss Ashima Mittal IAS. Miss Mittal's work is focused in Maharashtra's Nashik, where apart from focusing on youth empowerment through quality education, she also places special attention towards environment conservation and healthcare initiatives. I can't wait to get this conversation started. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you for taking out time today to join us.
Thank you, Matangi.
Ma'am, to set the stage for our conversation, I would first want to hear from you about your experience at IIT Bombay, because yours is a route you took from, from doing engineering and now to civil services. So how did that happen? And were there any specific learnings or opportunities in college that pushed you to, sort of make this decision?
Matangi, I would say that IIT Bombay was the place that completely changed my life. It was the game changer, which from coming from a small town and to having big dreams, the change actually came through IIT Bombay. It made me see a lot of dreams for myself and also gave me the ability to achieve them. IIT Bombay is a place which is filled with opportunities, be it any area, be it sports or extracurriculars or academics or research, in any opportunity, in any sector. One gets to do a lot of things, and that helped me, gave me the confidence to go to new arenas and do explore new things. So when I was at IIT Bombay, I was a lot into technology. I was leading the technical club of our institute. I was the overall coordinator for that. And in my final year, we could create the Tinkerers Lab, which right now in schools we see as adult tinkering labs, that actually started from IIT Bombay. And in all those experiences, I learned a lot how to work with a team, how to conduct elections, how to win elections, student body elections, and how to manage a big team, how to deal with people who are very intellectual, how to convince people, how to negotiate. All these skills I learned there. And in fact, even now, when I'm placed in the field and I face a problem, I just go back to myself when I was at college, and I would just try to think how would I have managed in that place. So I feel that those 4 years of IIT Bombay gave me a lot of confidence. And also, one thing I want to further highlight is that I decided to come to civil services after college, because the tenure that I had as student leader, and also communicating, dealing with the society, I was working with some organizations, also NGOs, and I realized that this is actually something that I really like, I'm passionate about, and which made me appear for civil services. I was working after IIT Bombay. I was working with Ernst and Young for a few months, and I left that and decided to do civil services.
And from that journey to today, where you work with multiple communities across different thematic areas, right? Be it entrepreneurship, capacity building among tribal women, youth empowerment, and also a lot in environment conservation and healthcare as well. So, how is it working with communities directly on ground? And what have been your learnings so far from these experiences?
So, I am presently working as the CEO of Zilla Parishad in Nashik district of Maharashtra. And my primary work is to look after the rural development of my district, which involves a lot of areas like health, education, sanitation. I have 15 departments under me. Deal with malnutrition, how to tackle malnutrition, areas related to child development, village development. A lot of projects we have initiated, which I would like to maybe talk about here, where we work with communities. So we have initiated one project along with community. So Nashik is the origin of the river Godavari, and Godavari is a very important river for our nation. However, Godavari is also facing issues like the water hyacinth, which is a weed, which is a uh, plant that grows very rapidly. So Godavari is filled with that. So our communities came together, our women came together, and they decided to change the scenario and to turn this problem into a boon. And then they conducted their training, and now these women are making products out of panveli. So the women are making purses, different products, like 22 products the women are making. And this is exactly how women and communities can make the change. They learned the technique. We called some trainers from Assam. Similarly, be it sanitation, sanitation it actually requires a lot of participation from the community. In education, we have started a program called model schools. But model schools or any other concept that we introduce is just not possible without the participation of community. So I feel that community participation is the key for any sort of development, and in that too the participation of women is much more important, because traditionally women have stayed in their household doing the household chores, but now they are coming out, and which can actually lead to a lot of change. And my experience, if I talk about that, my experience has been phenomenal. I just love my job. I just love every day going to office, because I feel that every day some or the other change is possible. Every day a life can be made better. And this is what keeps me going, keeps me inspired.
That was so refreshing to hear, right? That you enjoy and working with the communities, especially. But while that is one part of your work, we also understand that while you're interacting with communities, you also interact with a lot of grassroots leaders, grassroots NGOs, and other self-help groups, especially. So, how has that experience been? And like, could you shed some light on like the important work that's happening on ground?
So we work with a lot of organizations. A lot of organizations are led by women, and all of that experiences add to enrich our experience. So I would like to highlight one program where we are trying to reduce the malnutrition, and in that what we are doing, that we are trying to train our field workers, and through them the women, the mothers, the new mothers, the technique of breastfeeding. So one would say that breastfeeding is intuitive, but it is not like that. Breastfeeding has to be learned, because there's a particular technique behind it, and our children from till the age group of 6 months are exclusively on breastfeeding. And if this technique is not learned by the mother, then they go into a phase of vicious cycle of malnutrition. So that's why this training we are doing of breastfeeding and complementary feeding going forward. And let me tell you that this entire project is led by women, organizations led by women. So in this we are Dr. Rupal, who is leading from IIT Bombay, leading the organization from IIT Bombay. She is helping, she is coming, she is doing the training, she is managing everything. And similarly, the funding is also done by Copper Chimney Foundation. There also women is leading that organization. So in fact, working with rural development, and as you would know that rural development has a lot of women sarpanches in the field. So that we interact with women sarpanches so frequently. In fact, some of our best villages are led by women. I'm very proud to say that. Working with women is a wonderful experience. Women actually are able to, I personally feel that women are able to balance things in a better manner, because they have seen the problems of home very closely. And like with all due respect to the male community here, women are able to balance more, and they should be given that kind of opportunity to come out and work and lead organizations, and then we will definitely see our nation change.
Truly, ma'am. And while you shared the challenges with respect to malnutrition and especially among children, right? But we also know that you place so much importance on education, education for all, especially children who come from the underserved sections of the society. So, basis the geographies and the communities that you work with, what are some of the challenges that and roadblocks that you face in fulfilling this sort of vision of yours? Are there any examples there, and how has your journey been?
Definitely, you rightly said that education is one of the most important areas for our country now. We are we have to leverage our demographic dividend, and that is not possible without proper education and skill development. So my journey is that in education the challenges are many. There is a reason that our nation is still suffering from the problem of quality education. We have reached a good level of enrollment, but if you see the recent reports of ASAR, there is a reduction in the quality of education given in government schools, and definitely there are multiple challenges behind it. One of the primary challenges I have understood from working in the field is that people are working in silos. The coordination that is required in the field. So when a school runs, it is not the responsibility of only teachers or only the headmaster. It is the responsibility of the entire community to come, because when the school is placed in a village, it has to be be looked after by the sarpanch, their panchayat members, and even the villagers themselves, even the parents. If all of them get involved, then it is not possible that a school is not qualitative, because our system gives that kind of power to the people, because of the democracy, that they can make that change. But generally, whenever I visit a school, this kind of difference I always see. The schools that are poor in quality, in infrastructure, are generally the schools where the community participation is very poor. And in schools where we see really fast movement, fast progress, are those where local leadership are very active, and they know what has to be done. So I would like to give an example here. We have started a program where we are trying to develop a few schools, 128 schools in Nashik district, by giving them all kind of amenities and by engaging these community members. So we take review along with community members frequently. And I'm so happy to tell you that in last 6 months these schools are changing very fast, and that is only possible because of community. Secondly, in education, I feel the another important thing is to change the pedagogical methodologies. Right now, education focuses too much on the uh, teachers to teach, and then students will learn. So this has to be broken. It has to be understood that students can learn on their own. Every child has that kind of power, mental mind power, to learn on their own. They just need some sort of facilitation, which the teachers need to do. So in that, we are trying to do, we are trying to introduce peer learning. Students should learn from each other. In every class there will be some students who know that concept, and some will not know. So that kind of interaction, when it happens, it really improves confidence, collaboration, and overall personality, shapes the personality of the students. So these are my points. And then finally, if I have to add one more thing, that would be digitalization. So as school going forward, internet will be everywhere. Now the government is doing one more program where 5G connection will be soon available everywhere. So I feel that through internet connectivity, there is a lot of opportunity in directly teaching the students, rather than depending on brick and mortar model. We can directly connect with the students, teach them new skills, and sort of challenge them to engage in these activities and give them rewards. So this model can also be successful, and we are also trying that in Nashik.
So lovely to hear. And I have this one question which I am very curious about, which is basically your stakeholdership as an IAS officer. Definitely bestows you with a lot of authority, as much as it bestows you with responsibility. But how does being associated with the government services empower you to make decisions that justify your core beliefs also, while at the same time you're benefiting the community through your work as well?
Okay. So I would like to break this question into two. Firstly, I would like to answer the first part. So this job, government job, as an IAS, empowers us tremendously in making a change. It is not that we are not bound by anything. We are bound by law, and law of the land rules. But within that also, there is so much that can be done. We right now I as CEO Zilla Parishad take care of multiple departments, and I have tried to initiate different programs in every department, so that we are able to reach out to the last mile in the villages. uh, so every day there is a lot of power, but I also want to say that what people perceive from outside is just the glamour of this profession, but there are a lot of challenges that we face in everyday lives. Especially I feel that for women officers the challenges are more, which require probably another session to discuss. But definitely challenges are there, not only in professional front, also at the personal front. At times balancing activity is not so easy, but we learn in the process, and once we have signed up for it, I feel that job also makes us strong enough to deal with it. Coming to the second question, aligning to the core beliefs, I feel that at times it so happens that things, at times it happens, mostly I feel that it is not the case like that. Whatever we do is aligned to the core belief, but at times it happens that things are not aligned, and at that time uh, we have to understand that we are finally somebody meant for implementing the job. The democracy of India elects local representatives, politicians, ministers, who finally are the policy makers, decision makers, and we implement at certain level. So that we have to respect and take care. That balance we have to maintain and do our work, and that is very important.
We've now reached the concluding question of this conversation, which also draws on certain elements from your previous answer as well, which is basically you are someone who aspires to and is actively pursuing real time community change, community level change. Moving forward, how do you envision your own personal growth and your own personal journey, which is in tandem with your professional achievements? What are your priorities, basically?
So going forward, one thing that scares me is that I don't want to be complacent in the job. So that's why I really make it a point to keep learning new things, to keep doing new activities. I want to keep myself upgraded. I want to be the best in whatever I do, and for that I do online courses. Also, I focus on developing some sector specific skills. Like education is one of my sub one thing close to my heart. So I read a lot on education, new structures, new policies, models, and similarly, technology is something that again is very close to my heart. So, related to technology, I keep doing a lot of courses. Coming to personal skills, I feel that those are also very important. So having some passions, hobbies in life. So that also I develop. I run marathon. I'm basically training for marathons. I run almost alternate day and focus on fitness. So that is something I've kept personally for myself, and personally I want to be someone who is tough and who is able to take tough decisions in life. That kind of strength I want to have for myself.
Thank you, ma'am. And I think, like you mentioned, probably if we have to deep dive, take a deep dive into each of these different thematic areas, that would require further conversations. But um, I'm very happy you pointed out like very specific examples from your work streams across different areas, and we were able to get a glimpse of like basically what your work looks like and what you're moving towards. Thank you once again. Any closing remarks?
Thank you so much. I just want to uh, talk to the women who may be seeing this, because this conversation is specifically meant for as a conversation of change. So I just want to say that uh, at times we are afraid of seeing dreams. At times we don't see where we are. We refuse to see even our own talents. So just see what you have in yourself and don't stop dreaming. Once the first step to achieve anything is to dream. Once you dream, then only you can make a path for that, and then only you can achieve. So never stop dreaming and do what you want to do. Nothing should stop you. There is only one life, and that has to be made your best life. Thank you.
Thank you for those inspiring words. Thank you everyone for staying with us till now, and stay tuned. We have more interesting episodes coming up.